The microbial cultures can be grown in batches or in continuous cultures. In batch culture, it is a large scale closed culture system. In batch culture, we prepare the fermentation medium and the nutrients are added at the beginning, and the culture is then inoculated with the bacterial culture and the fermentation is run. And during the fermentation period, or as the fermentation is going on, no nutrients are supplemented into the medium. So the volume of the culture medium is kept constant and the nutrients are added only at the beginning, that is before inoculation the nutrients are added, and as the fermentation is going on, no nutrients are supplemented into the medium, and the environmental conditions are also kept constant. And as the microorganism grows, they utilize the nutrients which are available in the medium, which were added at the beginning, and as the growth proceeds, the nutrients will be utilized and the nutrients will get depleted. At the same time, the metabolic waste products will be accumulated in the medium, and this will cause the change in the environmental conditions within the fermenter. And at the end of the fermentation, the process is stopped and the bacterial cells and the useful products which are synthesized by the bacteria, they are then extracted and purified, and the fermenter is now washed and it is sterilized, and new medium is prepared and it is inoculated for another batch culture. So here in this case, the bacterial cultures are grown in batches. A fixed volume of nutrient medium is prepared. It is then inoculated with the culture. Then the fermentation is run, and at the end of fermentation, the bacterial cells are harvested and useful products are extracted and purified. So during the period of fermentation, we are not supplementing any medium. So that is batch culture. Then we can actually monitor, or we can study the microbial growth curve in the case of batch culture. In the case of batch culture, we can see that the bacterial growth curve, it is having 4 phases, that is the lag phase, log phase or the exponential phase, then stationary phase, and the death phase or the decline phase. So the first phase is the lag phase. So at the beginning of fermentation, we are preparing the culture medium, the nutrients are added to the medium, it is sterilized and it is inoculated with the bacterial culture. The bacterial culture, it is that is used for inoculation, that is we are taking from a stock culture. In the stock culture, the bacterial cells can be in the inactive state or in the state in which their growth is arrested. And from that phase, from that inactive state, the bacterial cells, they have to revive themselves and they have to come back to the active state. Only then they can utilize the nutrients in the medium. And for that, they require the synthesis of new components. They require the biosynthesis of essential metabolites. Only then the nutrients in the medium can be utilized. So this requires a time period for the bacterial cells to become activated, and this time period is called the lag phase, and during this phase we cannot observe any increase in the number of bacterial cells. So that is the lag phase. This is the first phase in the bacterial growth curve. And once the cells are activated, all the metabolic machinery within the cells are now fully functional, and after that the nutrients can be utilized. Nutrients in the medium can be utilized by the cells, and the cells, they will grow, that is they increase in number. And that is the next phase, the second phase, that is the log phase or the exponential phase. And during this phase, the bacterial cells will be utilizing the nutrients, and the conditions within the fermenter are optimum, and because of this optimum conditions and the nutrient availability, the bacterial cells will grow, and the number of bacterial cells will double at regular time intervals, and this phase is called the exponential phase or the log phase. So during this phase, the number of bacterial cells will get doubled at regular time intervals. So as the growth proceeds, the nutrients are depleted and waste materials, metabolic waste, will get accumulated in the fermentation medium. And since this is the bacterial culture, batch culture, we are not supplementing any nutrients in between. That is, during the fermentation, we are not supplementing any nutrients. So the bacterial cells, they have to grow utilizing only the available nutrients, and as growth proceeds, metabolic waste will also get accumulated, and this will result in the change in the environmental conditions within the fermenter. And here we cannot actually the growth of the bacterial cells is not evident because new cells are still formed by binary fission, but an equal number of cells, they are becoming dead. So here in this phase, the growth of the bacterial cells is not evident, and that is why it is called cryptic growth. So there is no net increase or decrease in cell number, or the number of newly formed cells and the number of dead cells are actually balanced. That is why it is the stationary phase, and the growth is not evident, and that is why it is called cryptic growth. And during the last phase of the bacterial growth curve, the nutrients are depleted and the waste materials are accumulated. So the environmental conditions within the fermenter, that is the temperature, pH, etc., all these have altered, and this is not now suitable for the for supporting the bacterial growth. So more number of bacterial cells will die, and there is a sudden decline in the number of bacterial cells. So here you can see the graph is going down. So this is the death phase. So these are the 4 phases in the bacterial growth curve. Next is the continuous culture, which is called the chemostat. In the continuous culture also, we maintain a constant volume of culture medium. The fresh medium is prepared, it is then sterilized, it is filled in the fermentation, in the fermenter vessel, it is then sterilized and inoculated with the bacterial culture. And as fermentation is going on, fresh medium is continuously added. Here you can see the fresh medium is continuously added to the fermenter vessel, and the equal amount of spent medium. Spent medium means that the medium from which the nutrients are utilized by the bacterial cells, that is the spent medium. The equal amount of spent medium is removed from the fermentation vessel, so that the volume of fermentation medium within the vessel is maintained constant. But here in this case, it is different from the batch culture in that we are supplementing nutrients into the fermentation system as fermentation is going on. So since new nutrients are supplemented, the bacterial cultures, bacterial cells, they can always be maintained. They can be maintained in the exponential phase for long periods. So this system is said to be in a steady state, in that the cell number as well as the nutrient status, it will remain constant. So the number of bacterial cells in the fermentation medium is constant, as well as the amount of nutrients is also constant. So the cells can be maintained in the active state, in the metabolically active state, for long duration of time. And the bacterial growth rate as well as the population density of the culture can be adjusted in the case of continuous culture by adjusting the dilution rate and the concentration of the limiting nutrient. If we are adjusting the dilution rate, that is, if we are increasing the dilution, then the population density will be decreased. We can adjust the population density by adjusting the dilution rate. By increasing the dilution rate, the population density can be decreased, or if we want to increase the population density, we can decrease the dilution rate. Dilution rate is increased or decreased by adjusting the flow rate of the fresh medium. If we increase the flow rate of the fresh medium into the fermentation vessel, then the dilution rate will be increased and the population density will decrease. If the flow rate is decreased, then the dilution rate will be decreased and the population density will increase. Then by adjusting the limiting nutrient, we can influence the growth rate of the bacterial cells. Limiting nutrients are actually growth factors which are essential for the bacterial cells for their growth. Since they are limiting factors or they are growth factors, these growth factors are essential, and the bacterial cells will multiply only if this growth factor is available in the medium. That is why it is called growth factor, and they are required. If the growth factors are not available, then the growth will be limited. So if by adjusting the concentration of this growth factor, we can influence the growth rate. If the concentration of the nutrient is limited, then the growth rate will be less, and if the sufficient amount of growth factors are available or the sufficient amount of limiting nutrients are available in the medium, then the growth rate will be more.